So hi, I'm Silly, I'm a new content creator on Nullscape, and this is actually my first YouTube video. Now, I won't be wasting your time in the upper way, I'll just get straight into the point. So, Roblox Nullscape. It's a fast-paced survival Roblox game, and what's cool about it is that Nullscape has classes, or well, abilities, and each ability has its own pros and cons. So here we'll be showing you what are the pros and cons of each class, and perhaps maybe some tips about all of them. But before that, I'll rate each class on a tier list. So what will the tier list be about though? So it's going to be based off these three conditions. 1. Is it easy to control? 2. Is it really useful for the team? And 3. Is it good for movement, which is the base mechanic of Nullscape? And now, let's begin. So, Diver. Diver is one of the starting classes in Nullscape. The first one is, well, Diver, and the second one is Charger, which we'll get to in a moment. Diver has two main uses. 1. Being useless and jumping into the void, and 2. Collecting gifts and helping the team. Now, why is Diver good for collecting gifts and not just dodging enemies? Simply because Diver's gift collection range increases every time you use the ability. Watch the purple range go up once I use the ability, which is the gift collection range. But, does that mean Diver is not good for movement? Actually, it is really good for movement as well, if you don't dive too far into the void. Diver could be really good for avoiding baby encounters or guardian encounters and more. It really just depends on how you use it. For example, Diver could be used for instant mobility, unlike other classes that have to build up their speed for mobility. So, when do you actually use Diver? So, there are multiple situations where you can use Diver. For example, 1. You get across a big gap to avoid maybe baby or guardian projectile. Or 2. For collecting large amounts of gifts in seconds, like seeing a row of about 10 gifts and diving into them to collect every single one of them. But now that we know when to use Diver, when do we not use Diver? So, if you see a large amount of gifts in front of you but there's also a void right there, you shouldn't risk a jump there unless you have grace wings or double jump, or else diving could cause you to fall into the void and die. So now that we know how Diver works, we can finally rank it. So, is Diver easy to control? Yes, I'd say so. Once you get grace wings, it could be easy to stop deadly dives. Is Diver useful for the team? Also yes, it's easy to collect gifts with. And is it good for movement? Also yes, Diver is really good for dodging as I said before. So for me, Diver is going to a straight S tier. So now we go to Charger. Charger, just like Diver, is one of the two starting classes in Nullscape, as I said before. So, Charger. Charger has a certain ability that Diver doesn't. What is it? So, actually, two things. Charger has a secret ability as well as a passive that destroys any trip mines in front of you while you charge. And the second one, if you press R instead of the normal ability key, you get a platform under you if you charge from the void. So Charger is kind of similar to Diver. It also has two main uses. 1. Rushing into trip mines to destroy them, or 2. Collecting gigantic amounts of gifts at once. Just like Diver, Charger is also good for collecting huge amounts of gifts, as well as a range increase upon using the ability. But if Charger is just a better Diver, why not just use Charger instead of Diver? So that's the thing. Charger is really hard to control because you can barely change directions while charging, making it harder to make sharper turns, and possibly falling into the void. So, Charger is just a much riskier Diver, making it harder to survive, but giving you a lot more gifts if you be careful. So, when you use Charger, well, just like Diver, there are multiple situations where Charger is useful. For example, taking large amounts of gifts at once, or destroying trip mines, or maybe getting over the void with the alternate ability. And now, when do we not use Charger? So, when there is something in front of you, possibly knocking you back into the void or making you fall into an enemy, or if a gap is too large for you to get over, that's when you shouldn't use Charger because it can cause you to fall to the void. Now that we know how to use Charger, we can finally rank it. I'll give Charger an A tier. It is really good for the team and it really is good for mobility, but in the same time it's really risky and you can fall into the void while trying to get some gifts.
Where's the instruments? Where are your instruments? Where are fucking instruments?
Grappler. One of the best classes for movement. Now, Grappler is kind of a different class. Instead of being mostly made for gift collection like Charger and Diver, Grappler is for movement. But why get Grappler in a game where you need to get gifts constantly? So that's the thing. Instead of having to slowly collect gifts like the others, with Grappler you can grapple all around the map to get gifts. Now, jumping around to collect gifts might sound a lot faster than diving into them, but actually no. Collecting gifts will be much harder with Grappler because you don't have the kind of speed you will be getting with Charger and Diver. but Grappler is much more safer. For example, with Grappler, if you fall off the map, you can get back up, using nearby jump pads or building up speed. So, just like the other classes, Grappler can be used in multiple situations. For example, if you try making a long distance and you build up speed, then jump and grapple. Or if you fall off the map and perhaps try building up speed to get back up. But when should you not use Grappler? When the beacon is open and you jump around, trying to impress the only girl in the lobby, which behind the screen is a 40-year-old man that—
Silly! There are kids watching this, bro. Calm down.
Okay, yeah, you're right. My bad. So, when should you not use Grappler? When you're about to make a long distance jump and are about to bump into something, then it might cause you to fall into the void. So, now that we know how to use Grappler, we can finally rank it. So, in my opinion, Grappler should be an A tier. It's not that good for collecting gifts, and it's not even that good for the team, but it really is good for last Robloxian standings, or movement, or just enjoying the game because you don't do shit. Okay, now, who do we have next? Prisoner? You know, just don't. Prisoner sucks. Genuinely, Prisoner fucking sucks.
Hi, I'm Spider. Because Sully is lazy, I'm doing the glider section. Glider is my favorite class in Nullscape, for a lot of reasons. For example, gliding into the void because you suck. Bonking on a platform and dying in the void again. Hitting the bell to gain even more height, and everyone on the server hates you. Really? I guess I'm no offense, huh? Well, moving to actual good parts of glider. At first, it's mostly used for going to platform to get some gifts. And later on in a run, where you get some good upgrades like Shark Tail, you should be focusing on beaconing. The last gifts are usually pretty far away from the beacon, so classes like Wanted, whose sole purpose is to get gifts, doesn't have to, because if you don't beacon, the Aura Farmer Grappler main sweaty operates Mr. McGee will do nothing, and then proceed to die in LRS.
Buddy, what the fuck are you doing here?
And that's why I'm forcing Seller to put it in S tier.
No, Buddy, we are not putting it in S tier.
Oh, why not?
It's not that good!
Yes, it is!
Nuh-uh!
It is the best!
Nuh-uh!
Yeah!
No, it's not! So, now that we got rid of the past, we can finally rank it. So, I think it deserves an A tier. So, why an A tier? Because you can get to the beacon quickly. You can, I guess, become fast. I don't even use glider that much. Excuse me, dude. What was the last thing again? Yeah, anyways, it's an A tier. So, Spirit. Spirit is kind of like Grappler, mostly used for quick movement and surviving. Spirit is also good for gift collection, but only in the Spirit form, which is mostly used to give you kind of infinite deaths, if you really time it correctly. If you use Spirit's ability, you put down a spirit of yourself, and once you die or press the ability again, it will make you go back to that spirit. But what makes it good for movement? Well, it's the second ability. Just like Charger, Spirit has a second ability. The second ability lets Spirit get flung away, possibly to collect further gifts or beacon quickly. The further you are from the Spirit, the further you will be flung, but there is a certain risk coming with it. If you fling yourself too far or a bit less, you might fall into the void. Spirit is also really good for escaping multiple enemies at once. For example, if you have two void-bound babies on you, use the alternate ability to get some distance, and that's it, they're off you to annoy someone else. So, when do you use Spirit? When you're trying to escape a large amount of enemies or trying to get close to the faraway gifts. So, when do you not use Spirit? When you're too far or too close to an alternate spirit, causing you to possibly fall into the void if you aren't careful. So, now that we finally know how to use Spirit, we can rate it. So, is Spirit easy to control? No, not really. Unless you get used to it, Spirit is going to be pretty hard for you to control. Is Spirit good for movement? Yeah, it really is good for movement, but it depends on how you use it, if you know how to fling yourself or not. And is Spirit good for the team? Yeah, because you can collect a lot of gifts with it, giving you a larger amount of gift collection range if you're in Spirit form. So for me, Spirit is going to a B tier. Because it's really hard to control, but once you get used to it, you can become invincible. So Wanted. Wanted is kind of a mix between collecting gifts and fast movement. Unlike Grappler or Diver, Wanted cannot get back up from the void or dive forward. Wanted actually doesn't have an ability. Plus, Wanted doesn't even have some of the upgrades. For example, Shark Tail doesn't even give Wanted any buff. If Wanted, you can either rush to get all the gifts or outrun the enemies. Wanted is kind of the mix between the two. So there's not really much to say about Wanted. All you do is Wanted is basically just jump around and collect the gifts instead of diving or charging forward. So, if Wanted removes your buff and has no ability, why would you even use it? Because Wanted makes every speed upgrade higher. For example, Fortunes, instead of giving you 40% movement speed, Wanted gets 50%. If a double jump gives you 1 extra jump, Wanted gets 2 extra jumps. So, Wanted is mostly for movement or jumping around the map. So personally, for me, Wanted goes into an S tier. It's really good for movement, it's really good for gift collection for the team, and it's really easy to use. That's everything that I have to tell you about Nullscape classes. I'm sorry if the video didn't do enough, because this is my first YouTube video, so I'm really sorry if it's badly edited, or I'm stuttering in the middle of it. I just get really nervous. But thank you so much for watching.